Hey, it's Luke here from LT Gaming, and there's something special about looking ahead to a whole new year of Wargames. It's that mix of promise, ambition, and building up a wish list that you'd need to rob a bank to actually purchase. I am not encouraging anyone to go out and rob a bank. Now do bear with me, I am recovering from a nasty dose of laryngitis, a bad thing for a YouTuber to get. But anyway, 2026 is already shaping up to be stacked. Before we dive in, if you enjoy these deep cut strategy lists and it helps you find a few hidden gems for the future, go on, drop a like on the video. It keeps the channel rolling and it lets me keep hunting down the stuff you won't hear about anywhere else. Alright, you know the drill, let's get into it. 16 wargames worth watching for 2026. Aiming to be a sweeping real-time strategy overhaul of the Napoleonic era, Grand Tactician invites you to relive the full breadth of the Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. From early campaigns in Italy through to the dramatic 100 Days. You don't just fight battles, you manage your nation, raise armies of infantry, cavalry and artillery, appoint officers, handle supply lines and decide whether to rely on diplomacy, war or economic pressure to shape Europe. Battles are rendered on historically accurate terrain with scale, depth, morale and command and control all factored into each engagement. What's really compelling is its ambition, the chance to control entire theatres of war, shape grand campaigns and see the ripple effects of your political and military decisions across Europe. If the developers deliver on the promise of detailed troop formations, realistic supply chains and living, breathing war economies, this could set a new standard for Napoleonic era strategy games, a grand sweeping tapestry of warfare, power and consequence. But also I have to be honest, if they don't fix the performance problems from their first title, then it's gonna sink. But let's try and stay positive on this one because the scope is a dream game. Strategos is shaping up to be a hybrid of historical tactics and wargame style command, blending real-time battlefield maneuvering with a heavy emphasis on formation control and planned orders. Instead of frantic micromanagement, it leans into discipline, cohesion and command structure. The sort of game where positioning, timing and morale matter far more than click speed. As I get older, that becomes more and more important. It's visually clean and built around decisive engagements where a single misjudged advance or exposed flank can unravel your entire line. What makes this one exciting for 2026 is how different it feels from the usual crop of historical strategy games. It's not trying to be Total War, if anything it plays more like a real-time cousin to Field of Glory 2 Medieval, with that added sense of weight and spectacle that comes from watching disciplined formations collide. The developer has been steadily expanding the feature set with deeper orders, smarter unit behaviour and more nuanced combat modelling. And if he keeps delivering on that vision, this could become one of the most interesting tactical wargames on the horizon. Final Strategy aims to deliver modern-era warfare with a twist. You command the whole battlefield from above or dive into the action yourself. And this is actually the first time I've ever featured this game on a list. I wasn't aware of it previously. From a top-down RTS perspective, you'll direct tanks, troops and armour, or you can hop into the action in third or first person, manning turrets or riding shotgun to influence the fight directly. This one's definitely worth a spot on the list because of that blend of micro-command and ground-level immersion. And also because at LT Gaming we massively flesh out your wish list because it's just what we do here. Stick around for Christmas, we've a load of games to give away and we do favour people who are regular commenters on the channel, so I'm just saying. With solid balance, fluid controls and meaningful tactical choices, it could become a fresh spin on modern wargaming for players who want both oversight and boots on the ground chaos in the same match. Frontline Afrika Corps takes you to the North African campaign of World War II, commanding Axis or Allied forces across desert battlefields in a turn-based tactics format. You build a roster of core and support units, upgrade them and use terrain, positioning and timing to push through historically inspired scenarios. It's an interesting one to watch in 2026 because it highlights a theatre we don't see often, while offering flexible unit progression and quick tactical battles. It's also quite a big series on Steam, so you can check out the rest of their titles, and I haven't really had much chance to feature them on videos before. If the balance and AI land well, it could be a solid pick for fans of classic, compact World War II strategy. I shared a key to one of their other titles with a member of our Discord, and I know he had a good time with it. Lines of Battle is a Napoleonic era tactics game where you command infantry, cavalry and artillery in simultaneous turn-based battles. The WeGo system lets both sides plan in secret, then watch maneuvers clash all at once, adding a mix of prediction and chaos to every fight. This one stands out in 26 because of its flexibility. It's already playable as a free web mobile title, though I think you will need to sign up with an account to play, and it's slated for a full Steam release with expanded units, cross-platform multiplayer and even support for large-scale operational campaigns. This seems like a title to get your buddies together and have an absolute blast as you wargame across the weekend. Now I've just got to find some buddies. Tom, are you still out there? Because there's absolutely no way my wife is going to play a game like this with me. In fact, she doesn't even play games. How disappointing. In case she ever listens to an LT Gaming video, and she definitely won't, I'm only joking, love, you're amazing. But anyway, back to lines of battle. Someone did mention this in the comments of many videos, and I'm glad to finally feature it on one of our lists. Beast of Steel digs into World War II tank warfare with a heavy focus on armoured combat, cruise vehicles, and the brutal mechanics of tank battles. You're commanding steel beasts, positioning units, choosing when to strike or retreat, and trying to outwit the enemy under the weight of armour and terrain. This one comes from the same developer who made the wargame Hex of Steel, so it does have some great pedigree, and if the dev delivers on his promise of realistic tank physics, crew management, and gritty battlefield tension, it could appeal to fans of hardcore armoured combat sims, a good fit for anyone wanting slow, tense, high-stakes warfare rather than fast-paced action. Now, this one has been on a few of our upcoming wargame lists, so I'd like to have some news on it soon. The Last General delivers large-scale, modern-era strategic warfare. Commanding divisions, coordinating air support and controlling fronts with a high-level tactical map. It's streamlined, focused on strategy over spectacle. Though I have to say, some of the battles look pretty impressive, especially as someone who's played a lot of Warno. It's gotta be worth watching if you like modern conflict sims. If its balance between scale, realism and clean controls holds up, this could be a solid pick for fans of strategic level wargames with that mix of Warno style spectacle. I did make a full video on this and I want to revisit it again soon. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Panzer Strike plunges you into panzers, infantry and combined arms in mid-century battlefield clashes. I think that was a fancy way of saying World War II. Think mechanised units, strategy and heavy firepower deployed tactically. To me, this looks like an evolution to the original Sudden Strike games. The focus is on realistic unit balance, terrain use and battlefield positioning rather than flashy effects. It's worth adding to your wishlist if you like gritty, grounded combat where each decision counts. If they nail the pacing and unit behaviour, this could be a solid pick for fans of classic tactical level wargames. I did notice there was a delay on this. I think it was originally supposed to come out December. That was a really weird way of saying that, but hey, I did it. But it has been delayed to 2026, so it makes this list. Sudden Strike 5 returns to its roots as a real-time World War II tactics game. 25 missions across historical battlefields in Europe and North Africa with over 300 units, including tanks, infantry and vehicles, giving you a massive toolbox. The reason to watch this one for 2026, it promises huge layered battles where timing, unit mix and terrain matter more than raw firepower. For me, it's important that this one isn't a click fest. I'd like it to return to the series' roots. We'll be capturing depots, sabotaging supply lines and coordinating assaults or defences. I'll keep it brief on this one. I did a full video, make sure to check that out if you're interested. Just a quick interlude to say most of you who watch the channel are not subscribed, so make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button because it helps smaller channels like us grow really quickly, and both me and Tom really appreciate it. Ahoy is a first-person multiplayer naval adventure set in the late 1700s Caribbean. Yeah, look, we do blend wargame and sim a little bit on this channel, but I think it makes it more fun. You team up with other captains and crew or go head-to-head to sail historically accurate ships, trade goods, manage your crew and engage in naval battles in a living Age of Sail world. Yeah, look, we know the backlash against MMOs at the moment. I saw it on Spacecraft as well, but hey, that's what the game's designed to be. The hype for 2026 comes from its ambition, realistic sailing mechanics, immersive seafaring life, and an open world where your choices from trade routes to alliances to piracy shape your legacy. If the developers deliver on navigation depth, crew cohesion, and dynamic world systems, Ahoy could become a standout for seafaring strategy fans wanting more than just ship-to-ship combat. I did a full video on this one, so make sure to check that one out. Battleship Command offers a deep dive into naval warfare, letting you captain a warship or fleet and manage everything from ship maneuvers to weapon systems, strategy and engagements. The focus is on realism and command level control rather than arcade style action. The title earns a spot on this list because it's the first time it's appeared on the channel, freshly announced by Microprose. Now, they did throw it out to a bunch of their naval sim channels, but I would highly encourage Microprose to stop looking at subscriber counts and look at actual performance of channels. I think this would go down well, excuse the pun, with all the wargamers that we have on LT Gaming. I'd still like to consider a dedicated feature soon, but this game excited me because it looks really ambitious and it's always great to see these titles pop up. And to be fair to them, Microprose are really killing it on the publisher front right now with so many great titles. If the developers deliver on immersive naval tactics, robust controls and real-time decision-making, this title could become a go-to for anyone who loves serious old-school warship sims. And I know there's a whole bunch of you out there. I'll stick my hand up and I do enjoy games like this. Tabletop Tavern is essentially a digital hobby desk for miniature and tabletop wargaming. You build armies, paint models, set up terrain and run skirmishes in a sandbox that captures the charm of real tabletop play without needing a physical workspace. It's relaxed, creative, and gives you full control over how your battles look and feel. Now, me and Tom always share our lists with each other before we make them, and this was the one that Tom was actually most excited to play. I think it has some great crossover appeal into different genres. What makes it worth watching for 2026 is how neatly it feels a niche, giving tabletop fans a space to experiment, customize, and play at any time. If the final version delivers strong tools, smooth multiplayer, and enough depth for proper tactical encounters, it could become the go-to digital home for miniature wargamers. Systemic War is shaping up as a modern-era tactical strategy game where system stability, logistics, and adaptive tactics matter as much as raw firepower. You're managing combat units not just on the front line, but within a bigger strategic framework that rewards foresight, resource control, and dynamic responses. You want to keep an eye on this one because if it delivers on its ambitions, it could appeal to players who like layered, realistic conflict sims where every decision echoes beyond a single battle. This is certainly a game I think I should have covered before now, but we haven't got round to it yet, but we do have time, and I think we should definitely take a look at this in early 26. Carthage, Bellum, Punicum throws you into the heart of the Punic Wars, commanding ancient armies across large detailed battlefields, packed with phalanxes, skirmishes, cavalry, and the iconic Carthaginian war elephants. Battles play out with individually rendered soldiers and tight formation maneuvers, giving it a grounded historical feel rather than an abstract board game style approach. It's one to watch for 26 because ancient warfare is still surprisingly underrepresented in wargames. And this one looks like it's aiming for real depth, from terrain-driven tactics and unit cohesion to the broader strategic pressures of campaigning across the Mediterranean. If the developer delivers on scale, performance, and AI, this could become a standout ancient-era wargame. Definitely one I'm really excited about and high on my wishlist to try out, so if you're out there, developer, reach out to me. This is definitely a game I'd like to make a standalone feature on. Battleplan is a World War II era real-time grand strategy game that throws you into high command. You don't micromanage squads, you plot entire fronts. On giant maps built from real-world terrain, you draw your plans, attack arrows, defensive lines, flanking routes, then watch day by day as your divisions carry out those orders with full autonomy. That's a kind of immersion I've really been waiting for in a wargame. What gets this high up the 2026 wishlist is ambition and scale. With hundreds of thousands of troops modelled across divisions, regiments, and companies, including infantry, tanks, artillery, engineers, and more. The game promises deep logistics, realistic chain of command, and historically accurate battles on the Western Front. If it delivers on that balance, that command chain depth and clarity of play, it could reshape what we expect from a World War II strategy game on PC. I do actually have my hands on this one, so I probably will cover it soon. Task Force Admiral drops you straight into the chaos and command pressure of early war Pacific carrier warfare. It's a full 3D naval simulation. You act as Admiral, coordinating aircraft carriers, escort ships, air groups, and surface fleets across historically inspired 1942 scenarios. You'll handle everything from strike plans and patrols to fleet positioning, air and surface combat, and damage control. Now I know this one has been on many lists, I think as far back as 2024 when we first covered wargames, and yeah, I actually do play this on a regular basis, so I know it exists and it is coming. Patience, Padawans. If you're curious, check out my full video on the game I recently did. It's a really good showcase of what the game is going to have in it. What makes it stand out on a 2026 wishlist is how it tries to blend the tactical depth and realism of classic naval sims with a cinematic living world. This one is going to be an absolute screenshot machine. I already do loads in it and post them everywhere. If the developers actually pull this off, this could become the go-to title for anyone who's ever wondered what it's like to lead a carrier fleet under fire. It also got me watching both the new Midway and the older Midway film. I think Charlton Heston's in it. It's a bit of a classic, so I'm going to watch that later.